Hi everyone, it's Millie here from Funtime Pottery, and today we're going to do this cute canvas. We're not actually going to do it with a heart. You can if you want. It's easy. I'm just going to do it as a circle, and yeah, I'm going to show you how to do it. So nice and simple. Okay, so we need two brushes, a big one and a smaller one, and I have my paint, a little white, a little red and a little black. We are just going to start by putting a little bit of white onto tin foil. So I just used tin foil. That's the best paint tray there is. You can fold it over and use it multiple times, and then whenever you're done, so I've actually used this pot a few times, so I'm just taking out of it what's in there. Got a little white on here, and then I'm going to put a little bit of red, tiny little bit. Just that's all we need is a little bit of red. You really don't need a lot of paint to do a canvas. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start in the center of the canvas, and I'm going to make a circle here in the center, just with my white paint, just a nice circle. You can't really see it, but what I am doing, that you can sort of see it there, I'm really pushing my paint into the canvas when I'm going round. We want this paint to be really sinking into the canvas. So I'm making my nice circle. I'm not too worried how bad it is here, because it's only when I add the red that we're really going to see it. Now, when I say add the red, we're going to do a bit of pink first. And how we're going to get our pink is we are just going to, little bit on our brush, pull it into our white and make ourselves a little bit of pink. Okay, so I'm going to take this nice light pink that I've made, and I'm going to, on top of some of the white, I'm just going to start a circle. And I'm just expanding my circle outwards, and you can see I didn't wash my brush. I didn't do anything with my brush. I'm just expanding my pink, my light pink circle outwards. And there we go. Now I'm going to make my pink a little bit darker. Same thing again. I'm going to pull a little bit of my red and mix it in with my white, and a little extra red. I'm making a darker pink than before. I'm going to start on the sort of on top of some of my lighter pink, and I'm just going to go around the outside just the same, just keeping my circle. Actually, I think my circle's becoming an oval. That's okay. Do you see I'm not being too particular? This is what I am doing, is really pushing the paint in. So I'm going over it and over again, and that's what pushes the paint into the canvas. And we want it pushed in there because, of course, we're going to have to put paint on top, so we need it dry. So I'm going to take this dark pink out a wee bit further. There's some white coming out in my brush as I'm doing it. Lovely. That's what you want. That's why you never wash your brush when you're blending colors. And there we go. I've got my lighter pink, my darker pink, my white in the center. And now, keeping the pink paint on my brush, I'm just going straight into my red. I'm going to do my edges up here, and I'm going to continue straight into my red. I'm going to continue in that shape, and I'm just taking my red color around. I'm going to do all the rest of this canvas with red, but I want to keep my circular motion going here. So we've still got that. So in your corners, you're doing it like it's going in that circle. And just do your whole canvas in red. Just make sure that you keep the shape of the circle going around. Now, some people don't do their edges. I like to have my edges done. So just do your edges if you wish. If you don't, you can leave the outside edges of all your canvas white. I just like to have them done. So I'm just doing my edges here. And we just fill in the rest of this canvas with our red. I think I might need to pour a little more red here. That's okay. I'm just going to get a little more red out of my tub onto my tin foil. So you see, we really didn't need a lot of white. Acrylic paint does go a lot further than you think. So frequently I just pour too much. But anyway, here we go. I'm doing my edges. And then I'm going to make sure that I'm doing my circular motion here. And I'm going a little bit on top of my pink, and that's okay. I'm just going to brush it right in there. I'm bringing it right, you see how I'm blending it right into the pink. Nice. But I'm going back. You will know if your paint's wet, if it's shining, and we don't want our paint to be wet for when we add our birds on. So I'm just getting my edges done here, and there we go. Last edge and last corner, and I'm keeping it in my circular motion to fill in this corner. And just a nice circular motion. Get the edge, missed a wee bit there. And I'm just going to set this down just to make sure that I get this tick-tock around my circle. My circle has sort of lost its shape just because I was holding it up while I was doing it, but I'm okay with that. I like what I've got. I'm just going to push, the moment I'm just pushing my paint right into the canvas so that it's no longer shining. There's a little bit of white on the edge of my brush here, and I'm just bringing it out onto my red. I'm just doing my, okay. So you can go back in if you feel that it isn't blended. I'm picking up some of my white and I'm just blending some into this pink here, making my circle a little more circle-like. I'm just going round and round, but at the same time I'm pushing it right into my canvas, right, so that it's going to dry nicely. Okay, so there is my background for my birds. Again, you can do it as a heart if you wish. That's okay. You can make it heart-like, or you can make it just like a glaring sun, moon. And now we're going to look at it and see if it's shining. I see some shining there. I'm just going to push it right into the canvas. And that's that. Going to get my black. And I'm going to pour a little bit of black out here. The very smallest amount. We really do not need a lot of black. So on my tin foil, I've just poured a little black blob. And I'm going to wash my big brush. Wash your brush, always wash your brush. If your brush gets too hard, Windex is a really good thing to soften your brush and take the old paint out. Just let it steep overnight, and in the morning you can just wash it out. It's really good. Okay, so I'm going to make my branch going across. You put a little bit of paint on your brush. Do not do too much, and always try and avoid the metal. Sometimes it happens and that's okay, but when you're doing small details, you want to make sure that you're in control of where you're putting the paint. So I'm going to start here, and I'm just going to try and do a line. My branch isn't going to be straight as long as I have a good wee bit for my birdies to sit on. And there's my line. I've taken it the whole way across, and now I'm going to start over here and I'm going to do my bottom line. I'm going to do this bit slowly because I only want my branch thick at this end. So I'm just filling it in, and just think about how thick you want your branch to be and where it's starting to get thinner. So I'm just filling it in. I'm going to take it off to my edge as well, just because that's me. I got this thing about the edges. Okay, so I've got my branch. I'm going very slowly here, and I'm just going to make it a little bit thicker. And of course, I don't want to see my background coming through my black, right? So you do have to make sure that you get that covered in, because we do not have see-through branches in nature. We have many strange looking branches, so don't be worried about what shape your branch is, but you just don't want it to be see-through. Okay, so I've got my branch again. I'm going to finish it off over here. So here is my branch, and I'm now going to add some little bits. So you take your brush, very little paint, and you just start and do little curls. Remember, if you put too much paint on your brush, you are not in control. So you can see I haven't loaded my brush up again, and I'm just doing little curls, little spikes, hardly touching the canvas. That's how you get little curls. So I'm just doing little curls. You can do as many of these or as few of these as you want. You can make some of them straight or just a little branch like that. You can add a little one over here if you want. So I've added one here, maybe a little one coming out here. Just a little tick. Okay. Then I'm just going to draw little hearts if you want, or you can just do, there's a little heart. If you don't want little hearts, you can just do little leaves just by putting a little bit of paint on and just setting it down in little dabs like that. So I just did 3 little dabs, and you can do that. You can make them bigger, you can make them smaller. We did hearts when we did this as a Valentine's, but it's a really cute canvas. So I'm just going to make these little leaves. And you can see I'm just setting my brush on and just setting it down to make a little leaf. So a little doot. You don't need much paint. And maybe one going that way. You can just set some up here if you want. And all I'm doing is setting my brush down. They don't have to be perfect. They don't all have to be the same. They can just be little dots however you want. Just like that. Okay, and I'm going to do some over here. I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, maybe one down here, maybe one here, and here, and here. Maybe I have some coming out there. So you see, I'm just setting the edge of my brush down and I'm just getting little leaves. And yeah, I think they look very cute. Okay, to do your little birds, nice and easy, we're going to do a C and a backward C. And there I got a little chubby bird. And beside him, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to make this one a little smaller, a C and a backward C. And it can either be a daddy and daughter, a mummy and daughter, it can be a daddy and a mummy, whatever you want. So I'm just going to color those in. Little bit of paint on your brush at a time, remember? Little bit goes a long way. And then to make the tail, I'm going to come out this way and out this way. And out this way and out this way. So there's my little tails. I'm going to colour them in, but I'm not going to make the bottom of them straight. I'm just going to leave them so that it looks like little feathers. So I just touch the paint on there. And then a little head. Just always start small. I do a little round ball because if you start with a big round ball, then it's hard to make it small, right? Your bird keeps growing and growing and growing. So always start with a little round ball. And then if you need to, you can add more paint. Now, when I'm adding more paint, I add it from inside the head. I don't go outside and make it bigger. I go inside and make it bigger. Okay, so there, I think my little girl birdie's fine. If you want a beak, remember you can end up with a great big one. So I go from inside the head again and poke a little bit out. And the same on this one. You see, I'm putting my brush inside the head where it's black and I'm just pushing a little bit out. Okay, this one's looking up at the other one. I think it's a mommy and daughter. And that is the easiest, sweetest canvas ever. If you want to add more birds, always remember you can go smaller again, just a C and a backward C and color it in. And your tail out this way, and then your little head. Okay, you can add all the birdies in your family. You can put some more over this way if you want. I just threw my brush on the floor somewhere. Anyway, that is the easiest canvas ever and it is so sweet. Make sure you put your initials in the corner, just tiny little initials. Put a date on the side or on the back or something if you want to remember it. And there you go. Fun Time Pottery give you a lovely, easy little canvas. Okay, take care everyone. Thanks. Bye-bye.